Video presentation for Mabini, presenter, Gonzaga ako, in 3, 2, 1. Good day, my dear students of DepEd Davao de Oro. Welcome to another session of fun and learning as we venture the world of music. I am Jimmy Lorenzana Gonzaga from Pindasan National High School, Mabini District. How are you today? Are you ready for today's lesson? Good! Kindly get your Quarter 3, Module 2 in music, and we will learn about improvising appropriate accompaniment to selected music in romantic period. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to improvise appropriate accompaniment to selected music from romantic period. Before we proceed to the main lesson, let's have first a short review. Kindly turn your module on page 5, What's in? Let us review the different types of musical instruments played by the orchestra. These instruments are grouped into 4 according to the materials they are made of and on how to play them. First, we have percussion. It is played by striking using a mallet, hand shaking, rubbing, and scraping. Examples are piano, xylophone, bass drum, cymbal, and snare drum. Second, we have woodwind. It is played by blowing through a mouthpiece with reeds inserted. Examples are flute, bassoon, and saxophone. The third one is the brass instruments. It is played by blowing through a mouthpiece. Examples are trumpet, trombone, and French horn. And the fourth one is the stringed instruments. Are played using a bow and can be strummed or plucked by hand and fingers. Examples are the violin, the harp, and my favorite, the guitar. These types of instruments are played by the orchestra during the musical concerts, the opera, and theater performances of the most well-known composers. The instruments commonly used to play the melody during this era are the piano and the violin. Frédéric Chopin and Franz Liszt specifically preferred piano on most of their pieces, while Camille Saint-Saëns and Peter Tchaikovsky used violin and cello as featured in their compositions. The musicians mentioned had composed their pieces during the Romantic period, which is described by musicians, composers, and researchers around the world being a cultural movement that stressed emotion, imagination, individualism, and freedom of expression. Now, let's have an activity. Turn your module on page 6, What's new? Name that instrument. Directions. Listen to the following musical pieces composed during the Romantic period. Write on the blank column provided the instruments you have heard playing. Composer, Frédéric Chopin. We have military. The answer is piano. Composer Peter Tchaikovsky, Sleeping Beauty. The answer is piano. Composer Franz Liszt, Hamlet. And the answer is violin. And the last one, Camille Saint-Saëns. We have the Swan. And the answer is cello. Are your answers all correct? Very good! If you can observe from the activity, the musical pieces composed by the well-known composers during the Romantic period were played by the instruments such as piano and the violin. Those interested people can easily learn the instruments, but very expensive to buy. However, this cannot hinder you because this module will help you to improvise an instrument that can play excerpt from the Romantic period music. We may find any combinations of the following instruments in our home, such as plastic or bamboo recorder, leaf flute, guitar, ukulele, electronic keyboard, comb harmonica, and any possible homemade drums that can be used as the improvised instruments. One of the most common and practical musical instruments that can easily be found at home are bottles or drinking glasses and water to make an improvised xylophone. Sounds interesting, right? Now, I'll give you more challenging activity. You are tasked to improvise your own musical instrument. If you have an internet access, you can choose among the suggested improvised instrument with an easy. Now that you have seen the different improvised instruments, maybe you have an idea now on what instrument to improvise. But for those who do not have access to internet, you can follow this sample of improvising a water bottle xylophone. Directions on improvising a water bottle xylophone. First, gather an empty flat bottle available nearby. Second, Clean them thoroughly. Third, fill them with water. You can add a drop of liquid food color if you like. Fourth, fill the first bottle with water approximately 200 ml. Fifth, the amount of water must be carefully lessened as you add more bottles. The lesser the water is, the higher the tone. Sixth, after filling in water to each bottle, arrange them. Strike the bottle using a stick made of metal or xylophone mallet and listen carefully to each sound. The tune can be very obvious if you know exactly the Do-Re-Mi tune. Number 7. The tuning of each bottle is always trial and error. Less or add the water little by little until you can play the tune of Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. Remember that the amount of water depends on what kind and type of bottles you are using. That is why there are no standard measurement of water that you must fill on each bottle. And last one, the number 8. Use a black marker to mark the bottle caps with Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. You may use other marking option as long as you can see easily the notes as you play. These marks will be your guide on playing simple pieces of music. Easy, right? This time, turn your module on page 9. Creating my own instrument. Directions. Choose one instrument to improvise. Whether you follow with the link given on the previous pages or make your own bottled water xylophone. Take pictures of yourself while doing it and a pose holding your newly made improvised musical instrument. Then, send your pictures to your teacher. The following rubric will be used in rating your output. For additional activities, turn your module on pages 11 to 12, What I Can Do. Here is an excerpt composed by the famous Russian composer Peter Tchaikovsky during Romantic period. This song has been played on the famous cartoon movie Sleeping Beauty. Its lyrics were written by Jack Lawrence and Sammy Fain, adapting the Garland Waltz, opera number 66 composition of Tchaikovsky.
I know you, the gleam in your eyes is so familiar a gleam, yet I know it's true that visions are seldom all they seem. But if I know you, I know what you'll do. You love me at once, the way you did once upon a dream. La, la, la.
And now, let's listen to the whole composition of the Garland Waltz, opera number 66 of Tchaikovsky. At this moment, let's watch the demo video of playing the water bottle xylophone solo. It is featuring the song Once Upon a Dream. Familiarize the tune of the song before you practice this piece. The original tune is in the key of F major. Just add 2 bottles for Fa sharp and T flat for this piece. Amount of water may vary based on its pitches. For your final activity, take a short video of yourself while playing with a tune of Sleeping Beauty composed by Peter Tchaikovsky with your chosen improvised musical instrument for at least 1 minute and send it to the messenger of your music teacher. You will be graded according to the rubrics provided and flashed on your screen. And that's all for today. I hope all of you are having fun learning about music. Always remember this: success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. Once again, I am Jimmy Lorenzana Gonzaga from Pindasan National High School, Mabini District, your Music 9 teacher, saying, dito sa TV Eskwela, sa pag-aaral, sama-sama. Bye-bye!